Justin Raines, our composer. Where are you, Justin? Amy Prenner, who did our publicity, is here, and Gracie, who did our social media. You know, sometimes I've said that the planets have to line up in order for an independent film to do okay, and believe it or not, I was looking at my feed this morning, and the planets have lined up today for the first time in 50 years. They really have. Really, I don't know what that means for us. But my family is here. Thank you very much for my wonderful kids and my mom. You know, some people think we chose this theater because it's really so terrific, and it is, but we really chose it because my mother lives a mile away. And so we didn't want her to go far. And you have those postcards. If you wouldn't mind leaving a review on Rotten Tomatoes, that would really help us a great deal. Can you introduce yourselves? Can we just put it on the list?
My name is Carly Christopher, and I play Kiki Martin. I'm Crystal Thomas, and I play Dr. Donna Lerner. I'm April Hartman, and I played Sue.
Darren LaFountain, I played Todd Boyd.
Lisa Lucas, and I play Marcy Wilson.
Matt Page, Paul the Priest.
So, does anyone want to start with a question, or should I can rant? We're only going to do about 10 minutes, I'll say one thing while you think of a question, right? One, didn't the cast just do a wonderful job? I'm watching this in the back, and I'm going, like, God, they just increased the value of what we were doing so much under relatively difficult circumstances. And it was a pleasure to work with all of you. You all just did a terrific job. So who wants to start? Somebody start with a question. Don't be shy. Yeah.
Fabulous job, all of you. Really wonderful film. How did you choose the professions for each of you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to pick things that I've talked to people about that they really wanted to do, right? So somebody I know really wanted to be an artist and a therapist and a detective, and I've always wanted to be a rabbi. My brother says it's the only profession you haven't done. Right? So it was just one of those kinds of situations, and we wanted to put people. You know, we've done a lot of publicity because of Amy, and we've been in a position where people are saying, you know, what is it about this film? And we said, well, one, we hope it's funny, but two, it's about people who hit their 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they say, wow, is this what it is? And we realized that it's about helping people understand that there's real value, because most of the people, with the exception of the priest, go back to their original jobs with a newfound respect for them. You want to jump in? Anybody like that? Okay. What? Another question? Somebody? Yeah.
Because it talked about, instead of waiting 20 years, they're going to do it next year. Think about doing a sequel.
Yeah, let's do this one first.
How long did it take you to write the film?
I wrote the first draft in 8 days at our summer house in Lake Elsinore, and then I think I rewrote it 10 times after that. So let me ask a question for the cast, because I get this question all the time. Was there a favorite moment in the film? Remember, it's an ensemble, so all these people were there every day, all day. They didn't come and go. Anybody want to take that?
I'll jump in. First of all, I want to say, what you guys saw, we did that in 10 days. Over 100 pages in 10 days of filming. And Tom was the leader of that, and he pulled it off. So, good job. Thank you, Tom. My favorite moment was filming that movie within a movie. That was, hands down, that was the most fun I've had, just as an actor on a set. You guys are awesome.
I think my favorite moment was the last thing that you saw where we were at the table outside saying goodbye or saying that this is over. Those weren't fake emotions or fake tears. We were all really sad. That was the last day we filmed. And we all knew this was coming to an end. And it was so sad because we all had so much fun. Like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we just clicked. It really felt like we went to college together. From day one, we all had fun and we were all there and we were all tired. It was just the most amazing experience with these cast people, and that was not... Sometimes as an actor, you get an emotional scene, you're like, I need a minute to get there. You didn't need a minute to get there with that scene. We knew this was the last day of filming. This was the last scene we're filming as a group, and it was sad. We were sad because it was over.
I remember that, and I remember saying, "Are you all crying?" I said, "There's no crying in movie making."
I think the moment that we all bonded the most, or one of, that's like 11 pages or 12 pages at that dinner scene. We did it in one, well, there's multiple angles. We just went through the whole thing. We did not stop. It was start to finish, just go.
Yeah, and I remember Tom saying, this is going to take all day long. It's going to take all day long. This is a huge scene. It's going to take all day long. And we got in there and we did it, and he was like, oh my God, y'all did it.
We did it because I threatened them. I said, if you don't know your lines, you won't be able to come back. And so they all learned their lines. So we did do it in one take. It was well done.
Definitely the dinner scene. I mean, all of it for sure. I don't really have any part of it that I didn't love, but I do remember the first scene that we shot, which was the car scene, Carly and I, and we were kind of like, oh shit, we're the first ones. And then we had this moment where they were having camera problems, and so Tom was like, well, just do your stuff and, you know, just get into character and blah, blah, blah. So we just riffed for like half an hour, improv, Carly and I just pretending that we were, you know, college roommates, and we kind of solidified our whole thing, but it was hilarious. We were having so much fun, and Tom gave us so much leeway to help, you know, collaborate and create these characters. It was really a blast. Thank you.
I think trying to open the bed couch thing, that was so fun. And Tom had a rule on the movie that he said every day, multiple times a day. He said, no stunts. We don't have any money. Don't run, don't fall, don't do anything. But like just in that particular, he's like, you know, just play with it. So I was like, I'm gonna do this one time and I'm not gonna warn him about what I'm gonna do, just so like, he's not gonna wanna cut because we don't have time. So I was like, I'll just fall all over the place one time. And like, if he lets me get away with it, then maybe it'll make it into the movie, so.
Yeah, it's really funny because I always struggle with, you know, trying to open couches when you're staying somewhere, and so I said, Matt, just play around with it. But I said, you know, we don't have insurance for stunts, so please, no stunts, and that's what we got.
So I think the pool days, the pool scenes. Yeah.
And
the pool scenes, because those were not like
Donna and
scripted.
Jason, when we're in the closet and we pop out, we were really chilling in the closet for like 10 minutes. And I've never had to pull all my focus and energy into not laughing in that closet.
Because there were things in the closet.
Like it was
where
a child's room.
It was
we were
a
like
room. It was
hitting
an honest
shit.
child's room, and there was things in the closet. We were all three of us were in the closet. We're like waiting to pop out, and we're like, "What's that? Oh, look at that!" And we're just cracking up.
There's a question in the back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was curious about the title. I know we hear from one of the characters at the end when she gets in the car. I guess she's calling her husband. But other than that scene, can you talk a little bit about how you came up with the title of the film?
Sure. So the title came when I was writing, and I think a line came out, "This dress is really killing me," and I said, "Oh, that's kind of a good line." So I made that into the working title. But whenever people say, "What's the title of the film?" and you say, "The stress is killing me," they go, "Yes, that's my life." And so we found that, and everybody would crack up when they heard it, so we kept it because it's kind of resonated with people. Yes,
How many films have you directed, Tom?
This is my third documentary, some shorts, and this is my first feature. One more, I'll ask one more of the cast. If anybody has one for the cast? Anybody? Yeah.
If you were in acting, what would your dream job be?
I had this outside on the interviews. I have a degree in criminal justice, and it fascinates me. So I'd be CSI. I would. I don't know why. I watch crime documentaries like crazy. I listen to a crime podcast. It fascinates me. So if I didn't do this, if this didn't get in the way, because I love it, I would probably be CSI.
Anybody else got one? You want to be a priest, Paul?
I don't know about y'all, but I watch a lot of Great British Bake Off when I need to calm down. Everyone's so kind to each other. I think I would bake cakes. I love baking, and I don't know. I've always thought that it would be another career path for me. That or becoming a lawyer, because that's what I tend to play. So.
Part of this came from my wife, who's a teacher. I was a teacher for 15 years, and she would come home and tell me the stories of what it's really like to be a teacher. And I said, oh, maybe it's not so great to be a teacher. And that was one of the things that sort of propelled the story. Yeah.
I just want to say I was trapped. I loved it. And I was disappointed because it just didn't keep going on. I really liked it.
Good. So we have time for sort of one more question here, and I get this question a lot. So I'll ask you to sort of jump in. We'll start down here. People say, so what's this movie about? Like, you have all these people who are exploring their careers, and then they come back to the careers that they started. Has any of this resonated with anybody else about sort of, we know it's a comedy and we're just trying to make people laugh, but is there a bigger point about the stress in our lives?
I would say that was what I found most relatable when I first read the script, was that I feel like if you live long enough, you get to sort of look back and question what path your life might have taken if you made different choices. And I liked the idea of an opportunity of friends who knew each other 20 years ago getting to explore that together and ultimately becoming more appreciative of their lives. So I like that.
I was fortunate in college to have friends like this. And guys, girls, they weren't romantically involved, but they had each other's backs. And I loved that. I loved that we could hang out together. It felt safe. We laughed. We did so much stuff together. And I missed that. And I didn't go back for any of my reunions. So for me, I got to have one. And it felt really, really special.
I think one of the things that I love the most about it too is that I think if you're in your 40s, almost 50 or whatever, wherever we are, I love you. At the end of the day, there is a moment in your life when you have to let things go. Things that you were a dream or a hope or an idea that it's not there anymore, and maybe, but you still have a wonderful life and you love what you've done. And I think part of this is also loving your life and letting go of these false hopes that are sitting there, because you still have a wonderful life, and grasp that and move forward. And I think that's in this movie. Thank you.
You know, you mentioned It's a Wonderful Life. It's, of course, one of my favorite movies. And the point is the same. When he goes back to his life, he's renewed.
I honestly, bouncing off what you said, I took this the other way of, I've been acting for 20 years. God help me. And I started late, but I took this as, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter when you decide I want to do something else. It doesn't matter when you decide, you know what, I kind of want to do what I love. I want to do what I love now. That's always an option. And I think that we don't hear that enough, that, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to decide at a certain age, so many people say too late, too late. I don't believe in that. I believe you should be able to decide at any point in your life, you know what? I want to go this direction. I have this passion. I want to do this now. I want to do what I love. And to me, it's so true that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So I always encourage that in people, is like, don't think there's a time limit. Don't think there's an age limit. Don't believe any of that crap you hear, because at any moment you can decide, you know what? I kind of want to take this path. I want to do this. And I think that's okay. And I really, really love that this brought out the script. When I read it, was like, yeah, why couldn't these people do this? Why couldn't they decide, you know what, I want to be an office manager more, I want to be a teacher. Why not? Because you can. You can do whatever you want.
And to build on that, to explore that, what resonated for me was that we're constantly making choices and building the life that we hope that we want, right? And so to look back and go, oh, this isn't what I want to be doing, or to question, am I doing what I really wanted to? Did I make it as far as I wanted? Is this where I wanted to be? To take stock of that, to play with that, and test the waters, and then to decide, no, actually, I did pretty damn good with what has come my way, the choices that I've made. And so that resonated for me with Donna, with these characters, that we're building our own lives. We make the best choices that we can. And damn if I'm not so grateful for that, and excited to continue to make good choices for myself. Not only the right, responsible choices. It was boring. But but also stuff that is fulfilling and brings joy.
Wow, y'all really said it. You're welcome. I think what resonated with me, Tom, is that, I don't know about y'all, but in today's society, there's so much grass is greener. Well, if I just had that job, or if I just did this, or if I moved to LA when I was 18, or if I did that. And I think what I loved about this script is when you take a step back and you look at your life, you're like, oh my God, I have so much. There's so much to be grateful for. But it's done in community, with friends that support you and know you deeply and accept you for who you are. And I think that piece of community, at least for me, helps me have perspective and helps me have gratitude. And everything we all said too.
Gratitude. Such a community.
So every single person up here, when they were cast, and they probably don't even know this, all of them called me and said, that character is not me. and so if we're going next door to the restaurant, what's it called? Barney's. And so you can get to know them because they don't feel like they were typecast at all. One more question?
I don't know.
Is there anybody
I
else?
don't know, Tom.
One more.
I think it's
I was not.
I think it's
not. It was pretty neat. It was
Tom,
pretty neat.
remind them about the scan on the postcard.
Yeah, on the postcard that you have is a QR code that you can scan and leave a review for Rotten Tomatoes. We need 50. This comes out on a week from today, March 7th, on Apple TV and Amazon and a bunch of cable stations. So if you leave a review, that'll help us. It'll help us a lot. So thank you very much. Anything else that anybody wants to add? Thank you very much. We're going next door. Hope you can join us. Thanks for having us.